Good morning, friends. It is Saturday morning, April 29th. Tomorrow, April finishes. It's gone by really fast, hasn't it? So, for this morning, I just want to talk a little bit about my sourdough bread. So, let me just take a moment here. So, fresh out of the oven this morning, still almost too hot. This is rice flour on top, split a little bit in the sides, but that's all right. But what I like about this size loaf and this shape is that it makes really nice slices for sandwiches, for toast, for all those wonderful things. So let me just pause. There. I had every intention of doing a boule this morning. I had left it in the Bannon tin in the fridge overnight. But I don't use the top or the bottom of my Dutch oven without parchment paper, and I'm out. I had a little bit left, but it wasn't enough. So I folded the boule in half. It was very cold, very stiff, and it went right into the loaf pan, filled it out perfectly. I was so happy with that. So let me just turn around for a minute here. Give myself a bit more space. There's not a lot of space on the counter back there. For those of you who wonder, I use these, here we go, the Starfrit gloves because the oven is, for the smaller loaves, I set it at 425. So let me just turn that off and I'll turn my timer off. It took about 55 minutes. I put it in cold and it turned out like that. So I am super excited. I also want to do another loaf for today. So I checked my starter, did the float test, and it sunk. So I'm going to wait. I fed it really late last evening, so it may be later today before I can actually mix it up. And whether I can bake it today or not, I'm not sure. I may have to get up early before church and bake it tomorrow morning. But I think about the importance of daily bread. And as I'm mixing and stirring and stretching and folding and prepping it, I'm thinking about the people in my life, all of them. And I'm praying. And sometimes I'm even going over scripture in my mind as I'm prepping for Sunday's sermon. So, what else has happened this week? It has been a great week of catching up. So, I had a wonderful conversation with someone from church on Wednesday afternoon, and we talked about ideas for church growth. And Bible study was always informative for me. We have a couple extra people who are sitting in with us this spring. The quilters are finished with their quilt. It just needs to be bound and then hand stitched together, which they'll start next week. What else happened this week? I went and got my eyes checked. That's a big step for me. I have my old glasses. Let me just put them on. A lot of you never see me with glasses. So these are my really old glasses. And right now, I'm not seeing out of them well at all. And I need them to drive. So I've had these glasses and this prescription since 2006. So it was time for an upgrade. And so I got that done. I had the picture taken from the back of my eye. It was kind of cool to see those pictures. It used to be that you never got to see what others saw. Like when you went to the doctors and there was x-rays or there was ultrasounds or any of those things, you never got to see them. But nowadays, they show you. This is what the back of my eye looked like. There was no tears. There was no glaucoma. Great. And then she did the old drops in the eyes, which I don't like. And took the picture of took a look at the front of my eye. And there's a hint of cataract starting, but not enough for her to be concerned as yet. But she did say 1 year. As a diabetic, I need to be back year over year over year. So there you go. Yesterday, so that was Thursday. Yesterday being Friday, we went out to the East End, so out Stony Creek Way, and I dropped off things for a sale at the Salvation Army Church there. My friend Luann is showing my stuff. And although nothing has sold so far, there's another sale coming up on the 13th, and she's going to take stuff then. And it's mostly winter things. I didn't really expect anything to sell, but I kind of want to keep my name out there. So knitwear is basically all that was. And then I went to Michael's, and I'll show you what I'm working on.
Okay.
All right, so I'm back, and what I got at Michael's was this cream colored yarn to put on. You'll never see the whole thing, but it's the mile a minute that I'm working on. I haven't done one in years, so I have to keep going back to YouTube to see how to start it and to see how to put it together and how to join the strips together. So next up will be, another strip. That should be funny. So we went to Michael's and I got that, and I got a discount. I just got one ball for now. I may get something else later, but we'll see. I'm still working on socks because, of course, I'm always working on a pair of socks. My winter sweater I put away until another day to work on. And my paper piecing. So let me just hold for a second. So let me just see if I can zero in on this. So I've been working this week every once in a while on my English paper piecing. And so I have a bunch of these flowers already done. And then what I've been doing recently is adding the green around them. Isn't that pretty? I like this one because the fussy cutting on that, I think, came out really, really well. So there will be like a cream border, but I'm going to try something a little bit different with that and then see what happens. And a kind of quilt as you go thing. So that's the other project that sits in the bag beside me, along with my northeasterly blanket, which is using up all my bits and pieces of hand spun. And I'm almost out of bits and pieces of hand spun. So my son-in-law suggested that maybe I just, once I've used them up, put it aside and then get it out when I have more bits and pieces. So that may happen. That may definitely happen. It's getting heavy, so I don't think it's something I'll take with me in the summer when we're camping or at the beach or anything like that. I need something smaller, so that's where socks come in really handy because they're small. They fit in a small project bag. The other thing that happened this week is I was gifted an old Singer sewing machine. Now, not the old black ones. It's a more modern but older. It was purchased at auction. So Nick cleared off the desk in the second bedroom and I put it there. I've got a small handbag cut out ready to sew. And then I realized I didn't cut the right number of pieces. So I need to cut more, but that's okay. I can manage that just fine. And besides that, and hemming his blue pants for church tomorrow, those are all of my projects, besides cleaning the house, which definitely needs to happen, and folding laundry and all of those wonderful weekly chores. Kind of makes it sound like work. But house blessing is what the Fire Lady says. So I will be blessing the house a little bit. I am still spindling. I'm spinning every once in a while. I've got some white floofy stuff on a spindle right now. And I've still got my blue, purple, white, merino nylon silk on the wheel for socks. So I'm spinning for socks, and I need to get that finished up as well because I'd like to work on those. Not that I need more sock yarn or that I need to cast on more socks. But if you're a knitter, you understand the dilemma, right? So I'm going to finish off by saying that I appreciate all of you who watch me. You're a blessing in my life. You truly are. And let me just see if there. It's cool enough I can handle. Can you smell it? think bake shop, warm bread, hot cup of coffee or a latte. That kind of sounds good to me. What about you? So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy whatever task is set before you. If you like these kinds of videos, please let me know. Hit the thumbs up if you'd like. Subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends if you think that there's something in there for somebody else. Also, I'm looking at trying to find a niche for my videos other than the worship that I share on Sunday. So is it sewing and quilting? Is it knitting and spinning? Or is it bread baking? Or is it all three? Because that's who I am. I do all three of those and spend time with my family and my husband. So I wish you God's blessing on this day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.